Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm playing in the large craft journal and I am using again some of Dina's new release, and I'm using the Pocket Squares stamp set today. So I'm starting off with some rainbow colours on my page. I'm pulling these straight down the page. I have clear gessoed my page first. This is very much a preference thing. I know Dina herself says that she doesn't gesso the craft journal unless she is using the glosses, and she will put some white gesso or a light acrylic colour in. I don't tend to do that unless that is part of my actual plan. I usually just add a bit of clear gesso, and it just makes the pages a bit more willing to accept the paint and not just drink them all up. So on the Pocket Squares stamp set, you get this fabulous frame that is around all the pocket squares, and I decided I was going to use that because, I don't know, that kind of appealed to me first. So I'm starting off using some Bodacious, and I'm using the pointed stencil, and I'm just pulling that stenciling down my page across that kind of rainbow stripe that I've added. And then I'm going in with some of the alphabet collage tissue paper, and I'm going to stick that in place using some gel medium. So this is just about kind of starting to break up that background and adding some little bits of interest, but I don't want it to be too in your face because I want those stamps to really shine when they go on the page. And I'm going to be stamping the face, the pocket square stamps, onto some white cardstock. So then, whilst I would got my collage paper packet out, I noticed these ones from an older set, these kind of funky leaf shapes, and I decided I would stick some of those on too. This is sometimes how things go, isn't it? Like, you see something and think, I'm going to use that. Don't really know why I did, but I decided I would. So I'm adding some black dots around those too. And sometimes it's quite fun just to go with an idea and see where it takes you. So yeah, this is how it's kind of coming together. So then I wanted some white dots on there too, just to kind of lead the eye across the page. So I'm going in with my large Posca pen and just adding some white dots. Then I didn't have an acrylic block big enough to use to put this on to stamp with it. So I'm just using the board the stamp set came on. So close your eyes if you don't want to see a huge mess, because right now there's going to be, I'm getting my black gesso and I'm going to use my blending tool just to pop some black gesso on this frame. I know. I do clean it up, although it doesn't come up completely clean, but I'm not bothered about that. So if that bothers you, don't do this. It really didn't bother me at all. So I'm just quickly popping some gesso on there. I say quickly because I didn't want it to dry, I wanted it to stamp. So making sure I've got a good amount of that on there, and then I'm going to stamp this into my journal. So I am just really using this board as an acrylic block really, and obviously it's not as stable as an acrylic block would be, but you can see that's worked. That's kind of given me the idea. And then I decided I would paint around the edge of it just to bring the attention into the centre of the page. It almost frames it as well, doesn't it? So kind of works quite well, although it would have worked just as well to leave it as it was, or even paint a narrower frame around the edge too. That would have worked fine. But this draws the attention right into those squares in the centre of the page. So then I decided I was going to, like, which faces am I going to use here? So I was just quickly selecting some of the ones that I liked and popping them onto my piece of cardstock where I was going to stamp them. So I'm kind of lining those up face down and then I'm going to pop my acrylic block over the top, and I haven't put them back in exactly the right places, so it was difficult to see which ones. So then I've just picked those up using my acrylic block. So now that I know that they're going to stamp onto the card that I've got in front of me, I'm just going to pop some archival ink on those and get those stamped out. Giving those a good bit of massage while they're being stamped. I'm not always the best at stamping out, but you know, you just have to go with it, don't you? So then I am going to arrange those onto my page and stick them down. And I've just used a bit of glue stick to stick those in place. So next I'm just watering down some white acrylic paint and just doing some splatters around the edges, so that just kind of softens that harsh black border too. And then just doing some scribbly lines around those faces. So one of the nice things to do when you get new stuff is just to have a play, just like with no real plan, and that was kind of how this page grew out of, like, I want to do rainbow colours, and then I'm going to add some collage paper, and then, oh my goodness, I could use this grid, and then just kind of playing with it along from there. And then it was like, I just thought, yeah, we all come in different shapes and sizes, and that is okay. So that's what I wrote in the spaces that were left. And so there it is, that's my finished page using Dina's new stamp set called Pocket Squares. So thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.